Hi, in this tutorial I want to tell you how to set up a new Market Dojo event, and I'm going to go through the event settings only today, and I'm going to do quite a deep dive on this. So from the dashboard I'm logged in as a host user, someone that can create events. I've got two options for creating a new event. I can either just create a new event from scratch, or I can clone an event. So let's have a look at the clone options first. So when I'm cloning, I can search based on part of an event or an event name I've run previously, and I can also clone events from the sandpit. So if I've previously created an event in the sandpit, I can clone it across from there, and I can also choose which parts of the event to clone. So I might just want the lots and not the questionnaires, for example, maybe not the documents. So you've got some flexibility around how to do that. Cloning is a great way to quickly create an event you've run before, or perhaps tested in the sandpit. So that's the first option. The second option, the one we're going to actually do today, is to create one from scratch. So we click the new event option, and from here we can start filling out the details. The first thing we need to do is give the event a name. So this is just a way of identifying the event. We need to choose which currency we want to run it in. We may even have multiple currencies if we want to give our participants the option to bid in several different currencies. The brief is a quick overview of why you're running the event. And this it's important to fill this out, because this will go out with the invitation email and will be the first thing that participants will see. Which widgets? So you can put quite a lot of detail into this brief column, and as I say, it will be the first thing participants see, so it's important that it's going to have the information that they want. The next option is to seal results. This is usually used in the public sector, and this will prevent you as the host from seeing the results, the answers to questionnaires or the bids in an RFQ until after the deadline has passed. So that's obviously helps to comply with some public sector rules, but in some circumstances you would prefer not to do that, so that you can actually make sure people are giving sensible offers. And so the next option is to add questionnaires. We're going to add 2 questionnaires today. You can have several questionnaires. The first one here is that we're going to add as a pre-qualification questionnaire. We'll set the deadline for this pre-qualification questionnaire to be just tomorrow. Obviously, usually you would give people a bit longer to respond, but in this case we're just going to do it quite quickly. And we'll indicate this is going to be pre-qualification, so people won't get access to the rest of the event until they've passed this questionnaire. We won't have scoring or weighting on this questionnaire, but we will add a second questionnaire, and we'll call this our request for information. And the request for information needs to be completed in a couple of days' time. And in this case we will have scoring. We won't have weighting in this case, but if you want to weight either the sections or the questions or both, then you've got the option to do that here. And that's enough. I think we'll stop at 2 questionnaires. You can have several more if you wish, but each one will be quite similar to those first 2 I've shown. And then the next thing is to decide whether you want to have an RFQ or an auction. If you choose one of these options, you won't then be able to choose the other one immediately. But it's worth noting that if you run an RFQ, and then at the end of the RFQ you feel that there is enough competition to justify it, once the RFQ is completed, you will then have the option to add a auction to the completed RFQ. So you can't choose both from the outset, but later on in the process, if you run an RFQ, you can add an auction to it. Bid direction depends whether you're buying or selling. In this case we're buying, so it makes sense to have the bid direction of reverse. And with weighting, we are going to choose with weighting, so that allows you to weight the price results based on a questionnaire. Now the questionnaire you choose must have scoring, so in this case we've only got one questionnaire with scoring, which is the RFI questionnaire, and we're going to balance the price weighting, so we're going to have 50% of the rating will be based on the price, and therefore the other 50% based on the questionnaire. We'll leave the online auction for the moment. We're not going to choose to add that right now. Price score can be calculated in one or two ways, either based on the current leading bid, so everyone's score for price will be based on the leading bid, or alternatively pro rata, so in that case it will be based on the qualification bid which you provide. So choosing which of those options really depends on the weighting mechanism that you want to use, but obviously if you don't have a qualification price, then you can't use pro rata. And then finally on this page you need to choose, or you can choose, as tied bid options. Equal worst position is kind of the standard and probably the best choice in the majority of cases, but there are some others as well. This applies when two people bid the same price, or in a weighted auction the same combination of the same score combined from their price and their questionnaire score. So equal worst position means that if two people bid the same, then they will both get the lower of the two positions. So for example, if you get two people in the auction and they both bid £100 and they're both the two best bids in the auction, they will both get ranked as number 2. Equal best position means that they will both get ranked as number 1, and separate by timestamp means that the person that placed their bid first will get ranked number 1 and the person that bid second will get ranked number 2. Okay, so we're at the bottom of the page now, so we've covered all the options on the event settings page. I really hope this has been useful. Thanks very much for watching, and tune in for the next video, which will go over the next page in the auction setup. Thanks for watching.